Hi crafty friends, it's Tracy Hines, aka Nanner Banana, and in today's video we're going to be making these really cute ornaments that have a hidden journaling spot inside. So I'm excited to show you guys how I made these, and they're made with everyday items that everyone has. They don't have to be sewn, they can be a no-sew project, but let's get started. They're all the same here. I did try a different stitch on some of the journaling cards. I ended up liking this one the best, but other than that, they're the same. And these will definitely be something I include in my journals. All right, so the first thing I did was take a piece of scrapbook paper and something to write with. And I took one of my ribbon spools and used that for a guide. And to make one of these, all you have to do is cut 2 circles. And that's going to make your ornament for you. I'm going to go ahead and cut enough out to make 2 ornaments, or at least draw them out. That way I don't waste the paper. All right. The next item you need is one of the larger index cards. I think these are the 4x6 size. And this is a circle I made to make sure it would fit inside of the ornament. So if you guys don't have, I would try like glasses, bowls, like you could try this and then use a glass to make this circle here to get your measurements. If you have a circle cutter, that would probably be the easiest way if you have one. That would take a lot of the work out of it for you. All right, put those off to the side. We don't need those anymore. For now, just for the purposes of filming, I'm just going to make one. I'll put the other extras off to the side. And I just cut this out. I will be inking it. And I'll just cut out 2 of these. It's been a really pretty day here. I've had my windows open all day and my big screen door, or sliding glass door. I have a screen door that slides as well, and I've had that open. And all day my house has just gotten to have that beautiful like fall air coming in, and super nice. It reminds me of, I also did laundry earlier, so since I had all the windows open, you could smell the fabric softener from the dryer when the dryer was going, and it reminded me of being at my grandma's, how her house smelled. I really think these are super cute embellishments. They've been fun to make. They're pretty easy, I feel like. Like I said, if you have a circle maker, that's probably going to be your easiest, but don't let that stop you from trying to make them, because you definitely can use like a bowl or a cup to get your circles. So the other piece of this equation that we need is the top part of the ornament. So let me go ahead and just, how do we want to do this? Do we want it to have green and white on there? Probably. All right. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. And let me get my inking tool out. Like I said, you don't have to sew these. I'm going to go ahead and sew mine because I like the way that looks. Now on these, I do ink around the edge, and I generously ink around the inside of the edge on the opposite side, just because if for some reason this was to not line up perfectly, I don't want to be able to see any white. I want it to, so I kind of take my inking more generously into the edge of that. Okay. I was watching a More Fabrics video she has out from where she went Goodwill, the binge shopping. She found some amazing items. I never have that kind of luck when I go, but watching her video made me want to go Goodwill shopping so bad. But I was like, nope, I need to stay home and work. Got things to do here. I don't need to do that. Do you guys do that when you see like these haul videos and stuff like that? All of a sudden it's like it puts you in the mood to go thrifting. No, it does me. All right, so everything is inked. All we have left to do is sew. Well, let's go ahead and get this glued on and then we will sew. Yeah. I probably should have filled my glue bottle up, but I didn't. I'm just using Fabri-Tac on this. PVA glue would work just fine, or a glue stick as well. And I just push it down to where you don't see those little edges anymore. All right. Now then, let me go ahead. I only need to sew around one of these. I didn't sew around the back on these. I just sewed the front because my plan in the journals I'm making is this is going to get glued down and be a hidden journaling spot and a tuck. That's how I'm going to use these in the journals. So the only two pieces you need to sew around if you're going to sew are the little note card and the outside edge of the ornament here. All right, and on this stitch, again, I have a Brothers SQ9185. I'm going to do stitch 27 because I think it looks real festive and it'll be pretty with this. And all I do is line it up with the inside edge of my foot and put the needle down and just go let the machine move the paper, and you don't really even need to guide it except to hang on to it to make sure that it does start to curve when it needs to curve. This has been a really easy stitch for the curved pattern. Some stitches are easier than others, but this was a good one as far as the way it stitches out for keeping along the edge of that curve. Again, though, you don't have to sew this. It doesn't have to be a sew project. It can be a no-sew project and just glue it. And they still look really cute. Or you could even use a pin and make faux stitching on the edge if you wanted. And the sky's the limits on these. Like, you could add a focal point to these and trims, all kinds of things. And you don't have to stop where I stopped. You could certainly make them even more decorative. I just think they're really pretty. You guys will have to leave me a comment and let me know if you think you're going to make one of these or not. All right. That stitch takes a little longer to go all the way around, but I so think it's worth it. You can see just how neat that looks. Okay. And honestly, I don't know that this actually needs sewing around. I don't think I'm going to sew around this one. I did these, but I think it looks okay without being sewed around. Now, one thing I do want to add to the inside, the journaling spot, is an eyelet up here at the top, because that's like where an ornament would be hung. Something, that's my thought process. All right, let me see how I want this to be directional. Put it down. And then I will put this down. This is how I found it, the easiest way to glue it, so you don't get any on the journaling card, but you get a nice seal. So you're only gonna glue from halfway down and around. You're not gluing all the way around. And go as close to the edge as you can. There's that. And then just place the top, or the back actually, of the ornament on here. And then I like to flip it over to see how everything's lining up, and it looks like everything looks pretty good. So I'm going to leave it like that. And then I will add an eyelet to this one. And a little tassel. Let me get one of my eyelets out. Again, you wouldn't have to add an eyelet if you didn't want to, or if you don't have a crocodile like this, a crocodile, you could use just a hole punch and put a piece of trim through the hole punch. So there's lots of workarounds if you don't have the exact items I have to still get this made and looking super cute. Through. It's a little bit longer than it needs to be, so let me cut that trim off just a little bit. All right, let's put this back in there. I think those are so stinking cute. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you're going to make one. Don't forget to keep it cute, keep it crafty, and keep making something out of nothing. Bye.